My family had served in the military before, so I thought, I'd go ahead and serve, do my dues, and went ahead and joined the Army. I was 21. I was actually injured originally in basic training. I had popped my knee out, and then I had re-injured it again. My first deployment was in 2003, and it was to Iraq after 9/11. I was actually in 19 Delta, which is a Cav Scout. At first you don't really pay attention to what you're doing, and then when the realization kicks in, probably when the first bullets are flying by, or the first enemy attacks hit the fan, and you realize it's real, it's not just a game anymore, and then you go ahead and pursue forward. And as combat's engaging, you're losing people and stuff, it starts hitting you more and more. The second time I was over there, I was an unmanned vehicle operator. We fly them remotely from the back of a Humvee within a 30-mile radius or so, and our job is reconnaissance. We were on a night mission, and I had been done flying. I had come out of the shelter, and I was actually going across the runway. There had been a stray rocket or a mortar that had come over and landed about a foot in front of me and sunk into the asphalt and caused me to fly through the air. Basically just concussioned me back. I got back and everything started hitting me at one time, and I was injured, and the unit wasn't going to be that helpful, so really had no one to turn to.
The first couple nights at home, he really didn't sleep, and when he did sleep, it was immediately just boom. He would wake up screaming or yelling, and so I would wake up, Brian, what's wrong? Or he would just be really agitated.
The surgeon evaluated my knee, told me there's no way I could go back, I need to do physical therapy, and he started rendering testing, and then he did a psychological eval and found that I fit the criteria to go to the respect mill and then start that program. I wouldn't want to do anything. I didn't want to leave my house. I felt like a recluse. Me and my wife would have issues because I'd start arguments, or I wouldn't remember what I was talking about, and it just kept compiling.
I could see the things, the restlessness, being woken up at 1, 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, getting hit or punched or yelled at, and realizing that he's still asleep, waking him up saying, hey, it's time to get help.
I went to the psychiatrist on post. They started doing treatments, and the unit just didn't want to respond to it well at all. In fact, they were kind of harassing me and stuff. You get a stereotype about you.
His treatment was long and intense because he was going through both PTSD, depression, and dealing with the medical issues at the same time, and dealing with some stigma around the military that is getting better, but is still there.
You fill out these little forms, you're like, yeah, okay. And then periodically over time, let's say 6 months, you're noticing I went from a 4 to a 2, and I can get along a little better. Mentally, you can see that there is a light at the end of the road and that you're working towards something. And I've come to terms with it's not going to be an overnight thing. It's going to take a while. But with people there to help you, it speeds it up. If I look at it back, the day that I got back to where I am now, it's two totally different people. I still have the issues that I had, but I can deal with them now. What I do now to unwind is keep busy around the house. I bought the new house because I knew it would keep me more preoccupied. I can go into my garage because I have a workspace, and I can actually pull my tools out and fix my dirt bike. Or I can go for a ride on my bike and enjoy myself. There's something else that's going to keep my mind away from the situations that used to haunt me.
I just wish that everybody could take the time to get out there and get the help that they need to.
So I make little gradual steps. A part of you is always going to be stuck over there. I mean, you dedicated a year or so more to that country, helping that country with all the rockets, full bullets flying around. But you have to come here and you have to separate that life from this life.
I I have the utmost respect for Respect Mail. I really do.
It's not just there to be a program, but to help the soldier, which is, in my book, the number one thing you can do.